chosen one, stop. I am not asking you to listen. I am warning you. Do not dare scroll past this message. What I am about to expose was sealed in the courts of heaven until this exact second, and you are currently standing at the most dangerous intersection of your life. The enemy has set a trap specifically for your mind. He has been whispering relentless lies into your spirit. He is trying to convince you to give up on the very thing heaven is about to bless, because he knows he cannot stop what is coming. Stay until the very end of this message. I am going to hand you the prophetic decree that cancels every assignment launched against your destiny. If you scroll away now, you are walking back onto the battlefield completely exposed. You will completely miss your divine instruction. Heaven dispatched this warning directly to your screen. Listen with your soul. Your breakthrough depends on your obedience right now. Anchor your spirit to my voice. That quiet exhaustion you have been carrying in your bones is not normal, a tired that sleep cannot fix. Stop dismissing it. You have spent the last few weeks wondering why you feel so drained, and you wonder why the atmosphere around you feels so incredibly heavy. You want to isolate yourself from everyone and everything. The world told you this was just physical fatigue, but I am here to reframe your reality. That is not a medical issue. That is intense spiritual discernment. Your spirit has been working overtime, fighting unseen battles, and you have been shielding people who do not even know they are under attack. Heaven brought you to this message today to give you the exact explanation for the warfare you are experiencing. Do not click away. What I am about to show you will turn your exhaustion into your greatest weapon. Look at the title of this message again. God is angry at you. That is the exact lie the enemy has planted in your mind. You have been looking at your life and seeing only delay. You see doors remaining shut while others walk right through them, and you have been praying for a breakthrough that seems stuck in the clouds. And in the silence of your waiting, you started to believe a dangerous illusion. You convinced yourself that you did something wrong. You believe heaven is punishing you for past mistakes. But heaven does not operate on human logic. The silence you are experiencing is not rejection, it is preparation. God is not angry with you. He is fiercely protecting your inner architecture from harmful frequencies. The enemy wants you to interpret this divine delay as a divine denial. He wants you to drop your sword right before the walls fall. Do not let his deception take root in your mind. You have been waking up automatically between 3 and 4 in the morning. Your eyes snap open and your mind starts racing instantly. The world calls this a sleep issue. Heaven calls it a summons. You are a cycle breaker sent to dismantle generational chains. And right now the spiritual realm is exceptionally loud, causing your physical body to react to the intense frequency of a shifting timeline. A massive transition is happening over your life in the next 72 hours. The discomfort you feel is the friction between your old season and your new elevation. You are stepping into a dimension of authority that your physical body is still trying to comprehend, which is exactly why you feel so uncomfortable in your own skin lately. You are shedding a survival identity that you no longer need. Think about your relationships lately. People you trusted have suddenly walked away without any logical explanation. You poured your heart into connections that turned out to be counterfeit. You were the emotional sponge for everyone around you. You fixed their problems, and when you needed them, they were nowhere to be found, making you feel unworthy of authentic love. Stop carrying that false guilt. Their departure was not your failure. It was a divine eviction. Heaven saw conversations behind closed doors that you never heard. God removed them because they were assigned to drain your frequency. They were decoy lights sent to keep you distracted from your true purpose. Your isolation is not a punishment. It is an absolute requirement for what comes next. The enemy is terrified of the moment you fully realize who you are. He is not fighting you because you are weak. He is fighting you because you are dangerously close to your awakening. Every obstacle in your path is a confirmation of your magnitude, and you are a breakthrough prophet meant to shift the atmosphere of entire rooms. but you have been apologizing for your power. You have been shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable. You dimmed your own light so you would not intimidate the fragile egos around you. That version of you dies today. You were not meant to be tame. You were meant to be a force of nature. The discomfort you feel is your spirit rejecting a cage it has outgrown, so stay with me. Do not let your mind wander for even a second, because the revelation coming next will permanently alter your spiritual DNA. You feel a heavy cloud settling over your thoughts. You pray with everything you have, but sometimes it feels like your words are hitting a brass ceiling. You try to focus on your assignment, but a strange mental fog keeps pulling you back into confusion, making you wonder if your connection to the divine has been somehow severed. I need to reassure you right now, because your spirit is entirely intact. The problem is not your faith. The enemy knows he cannot touch your eternal soul, so he goes after the instrument you use to navigate this world. He targets your mind. He sends endless distractions to scatter your focus and drain your daily energy. He wants you so exhausted that you cannot recognize the doors heaven is actively opening for you. And he has been doing this systematically since you were a child, mostly because he saw your light early. This is the exact moment you must draw a line in the sand. If you have felt this heavy resistance and confusion over the last few months, I need you to take action. Type 777 in the comments below right now. This is not just a digital interaction, but a physical sign of your spiritual agreement with heaven. Seal your intention to break this heavy cycle today. Let the universe see your readiness. Now I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue. Over the past few years, something has been found in research laboratories that most people have never been told about. Not because it contradicts what is sacred, because it came from a direction most of us are not watching. A small group of neuroscientists found something profound. Led by a doctor in New York, they uncovered a truth about how the human mind is designed. This discovery explains something most spiritually sensitive people have felt, but have never been able to name. I am going to tell you exactly what they found later in this message, but right now I want you to hold this specific question in your heart. What if the reason your mind feels foggy is not age and not a lack of discipline? What if something was taken from you at the neural level? Let me reframe your entire perspective on this struggle. You are a generational cycle breaker. You look back at your family history and you see a repeating pattern of defeat. You see brilliant people working tirelessly but always hitting an invisible wall right before their harvest. The world calls that a family curse. But there is no such thing as a random event in your bloodline. It is a calculated spiritual blockade. The enemy set up this blockade to keep your bloodline in a state of constant survival. He wants you focused on paying bills and fighting invisible fires, so you never step into your true authority. But heaven selected you to dismantle this exact structure. The spiritual weight you carry is heavy because you are holding the keys to liberate your entire lineage. Your success is going to break chains you do not even see. You have been wondering why you feel so profoundly different from everyone else, why you cannot just settle for a mundane life of quiet desperation. It is because you are carrying a dormant power that was designed to change the atmosphere of this earth. God encoded a unique creative genius into your spiritual DNA. And the dark forces have been trying to suppress that frequency since the day you were born. Think about how sharp your intuition used to be when you were younger. You knew things without needing them explained. You felt the presence of heaven effortlessly. But modern society and toxic environments slowly buried that deep connection, teaching you to ignore your inner voice and follow the noise of the crowd. But heaven is calling you back to your original design right now. The exhaustion you feel is the friction of your spirit trying to break out of a mundane existence. You were not created to just work and pay bills and sleep. You are a watchman appointed to stand sentinel, over something incredibly sacred. Your divine assignment requires a clear mind and a synchronized spirit. The fog must be lifted so you can hear the specific instructions heaven is sending you this week. Stop apologizing for the intense way you experience the world. Your deep empathy is not a weakness. It is a sophisticated spiritual radar designed to detect deception before it can harm you. You absorb the energy of rooms because you were meant to cleanse them. You are a demonstrated warrior of light operating deep within enemy territory, and heaven has your back completely. Do not let the silence of this current season convince you that you have been abandoned. The most profound spiritual shifts always happen in the absolute quiet. God is actively realigning your path while you sit in what feels like a dark room. The provision you have been crying out for is already in motion. You just need your receiver fully restored so you can recognize the miraculous opportunities standing right in front of you. There is a reason why your closest friends suddenly walked away without an explanation. You woke up one morning to find the connection gone, and you replayed every conversation, wondering what you did wrong. Coming up, I will show you the exact blueprint heaven used to clear your room, but you need to understand the spiritual danger first. Let me address the heavy guilt you have been carrying about your current situation. The world looks at your life and tells you that you are falling behind. People whisper that your grand visions are just unrealistic fantasies. And even your own mind tries to convince you that this long delay is a harsh punishment for your past mistakes. But heaven says something entirely different. Your current isolation is not a prison. It is a divine incubator. God is hiding you in the secret place because the anointing on your life is extremely rare. Look at the greatest leaders in the ancient scriptures. David was anointed to be king while he was just a forgotten shepherd boy. He did not step onto the throne the next day, but instead he went back to the quiet pasture. David had to wait in the silence while Saul sat on a throne that belonged to him. The wilderness was where his inner architecture was built. God used the quiet fields to prepare David for the massive weight of the crown. If he had taken the throne immediately, the pressure of the kingdom would have crushed him completely. Your delay is serving the exact same protective purpose. Now think about Joseph and his coat of many colors. He was given a massive prophetic dream about his destiny. But his own brothers betrayed him and threw him into a dark pit. He was sold away and forgotten in a foreign prison for years, even though he did not do anything wrong to deserve that isolation. The betrayal was actually the transportation vehicle heaven used. The enemy wanted Joseph to die in that pit of despair. But heaven used that exact pit to preserve him for a moment of global salvation. You are walking through your own version of that prison right now. The enemy wants you to become bitter and lose your faith. But God is using this intense pressure to forge a resilience inside you that nothing will ever break. Take a deep breath and really hear this. Do not let your mind wander right now. This next revelation is crucial for your peace. You have been asking God to remove the obstacles blocking your path. You prayed for protection from anyone trying to harm your spirit, and then suddenly, a relationship you valued deeply came to a painful end. You cried over the sudden loss. You felt entirely rejected and broken by their sudden absence, but you were reading the signs backwards. Heaven was answering your prayer for protection. Remember that question I asked you a moment ago about why they walked away? Here is the profound truth you need to hear. They did not reject you, but God quietly removed them because he saw the spiritual danger they carried. Those people were completely comfortable with the broken version of you. They liked you when you were an emotional sponge who fixed all their problems. But they could not handle the authority you are stepping into right now. Their frequency was far too low to travel with you into this new dimension. God cleared the room so they would not anchor you to your painful past. Your isolation is insulation. You are a cycle breaker carrying the mantle of a breakthrough prophet. You cannot fulfill a massive kingdom assignment while surrounded by selfish energy vampires. Heaven had to isolate you to protect your anointing from being drained by counterfeit connections. The pain of their departure was absolutely necessary for your ultimate survival. This season of hiddenness is almost over. The intense spiritual warfare you have endured is absolute proof of your value. The enemy does not send his best troops to guard an empty vault. He is attacking you relentlessly because he knows you are carrying something that will devastate his kingdom, and you are one step away from a supernatural shift in your physical timeline. You are about to walk through doors that no man can shut. The wait has felt agonizing, but the reward will be unprecedented. Every tear you cried in the wilderness has been watering the seeds of your upcoming harvest. You survived the nights when you thought the pain would break you, and heaven is about to reward your quiet obedience with an undeniable public elevation. Stay with me, because what I am about to share next will break the cycle permanently. You are standing on the edge of a miraculous breakthrough, but there is a hidden agreement in your subconscious mind that the enemy is using against you. A silent blocker keeps pushing your blessing away, and I am going to expose it in just a moment. Anchor your spirit and keep listening right now. You are standing on the very edge of a miraculous breakthrough, but there is a silent blocker pushing your blessing away. You have been waiting for God to change your circumstances, but heaven has been waiting for you to change your internal frequency. The enemy knows he cannot destroy your destiny directly, so he tricks you into sabotaging it yourself. He planted a hidden agreement deep inside your mind. This agreement tells you that you are an exception to the grace of God. It whispers that miracles happen for other people, but not for you. You have carried this subtle lie for so long that it feels like the absolute truth. You expect things to go wrong right before the finish line, and because you expect it, your frequency physically repels the blessing heaven is trying to hand you. Listen carefully, because this part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. Thousands of cycle breakers watching this right now feel completely alone. They are sitting in the dark wondering if heaven has forgotten them. You have the power to shift their timeline today. Hit that like button right now. Do not do it for this channel. Do it so this exact message can reach another chosen one who is struggling in silence. Share this video with someone who is one distraction away from missing their divine assignment. Your simple action becomes a lifeline for a weary spiritual warrior, and it helps us build a massive wave of synchronized light. Now I want to close the loop that has been open since the beginning of this message. I told you there was something found in research laboratories that I was going to come back to, and I want to tell you now why I waited until this moment to bring it forward. Because what they found is not just interesting information. What they found is a physical solution to a spiritual problem. A solution only becomes useful once you understand the full shape of the problem it solves. You now understand the shape of your exhaustion. You know that your foggy mind is not a character flaw. It is the result of a receiver that has been systematically disrupted by modern noise. The science I mentioned earlier is the exact key to restoring that broken receiver. What I am about to show you is going to connect your own experience with something found in a lab, and that connection is going to explain something about your life that nothing else has explained before. But before we get to the physical restoration, we must address the ultimate spiritual lie. We must confront the real reason you are so afraid of your own potential. The enemy is not blocking your path with external walls anymore. The walls are entirely inside your mind. You are terrified of what will happen if you actually succeed. You have spent your entire life playing small to make sure other people feel safe around you, and you learned how to hide your brilliant intuition because it made your family uncomfortable. You traded your authority for basic survival. Survival mode kept you safe when you were a child. It helped you navigate toxic environments without being destroyed. But survival mode is a terrible strategy for a season of elevation. You cannot carry a peasant mentality into a royal palace. God is trying to hand you a crown, but you keep reaching for a shield. You are fighting a war that heaven already won for you. You are not a victim of bad luck. You are a celestial warrior who simply forgot how to use your own weapons. The enemy wants you to believe you are broken, and he wants you to spend the next 10 years trying to heal a wound that Jesus already closed. Your endless obsession with healing is keeping you trapped in the identity of a wounded victim. Drop the bandages and pick up your sword. Remember at the beginning of this message, when I mentioned that heavy pressure in your chest, you thought it was a spiritual attack trying to take you out. Here is the truth heaven wants you to know right now. That pressure was never an attack on your body, but it was the physical weight of your spiritual mantle descending upon you. You are not under attack. You are under intense anointing. The discomfort is just your physical body recalibrating to hold a massive amount of divine light. Stop asking God to take the pressure away. Ask Him to expand your capacity to carry the weight of His glory. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. The moment you accept this truth, the hidden agreement is broken, and the enemy loses his leverage over your mind instantly. Your spirit is completely willing to step into this new dimension, but your physical brain needs to be realigned to match this new frequency. Your nervous system has been running on high alert for so many years that it forgot how to receive. This is exactly where the science of the mind meets the miracle of the spirit. We are about to cross that bridge together right now. This is where the truth cuts deepest. You have been fighting a profound spiritual battle with a physical instrument that was intentionally dimmed. The enemy did not steal your destiny. He simply dialed down the receiver in your mind. This is why your prayers feel like they hit a thick wall. The signal from heaven is perfectly clear, but your physical equipment is running on survival mode. What I am about to show you connects your own experience with something found in a research laboratory. This connection explains things about your life that nothing else ever has. You need to understand why this matters today. The constant fog in your mind is not a character flaw. The receiver in your brain was suppressed by a world that fears your potential. Knowing this changes who you are. It started with the Nobel Prize in 1981. Dr. Roger Sperry won it for his groundbreaking research on the human mind. He discovered how the two hemispheres were perfectly designed to synchronize. That whole brain activation creates a state of profound clarity and intuition. 98% of children operate in this exact creative genius state effortlessly. But less than 1 in 1,000 adults manage to keep it. Modern society systematically suppresses this synchronization from the moment we enter school. Your loss of sharp intuition was not a spiritual failure. It is a physiological reality caused by the relentless noise of modern life. Your brain was trained to operate on a fraction of its true power. There is something I said near the beginning of this message that I want to return to now. I asked you to hold a specific question about what was taken and how it can be returned. The answer to that question is exactly where this message is going right now. Heaven is providing a physical anchor for your breakthrough. A woman from California described what it felt like before she found this answer. She had tried everything, but kept arriving at the same empty place. After 10 days of restoring her receiver, a channel that had been blocked was suddenly open. Not because she tried harder, because the equipment was repaired. A woman from Manhattan experienced something even deeper. Her father worked 22 years only to lose everything. She realized this generational pattern was not a curse, it was a disrupted receiver. 2 weeks later, she felt the fog lift completely. The clarity she desperately needed was finally returned to her. A team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Barone spent years addressing this exact problem. They took clinical neural sync technology and compressed it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. 8 minutes a day with headphones and your eyes closed. That is the entirety of the requirement. They call it the genius switch. It is engineered to reconnect the two hemispheres securely. The genius switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that God prepared the promise and the mind that must walk into it. It is for the cycle breaker who is willing to stop treating the fog as a permanent flaw. Heaven arranged for you to still be here. Your persistence belongs to the exact person this specific restoration was built for. $39 is a real commitment. Dr. Barone set the access as low as it could go. An in-home clinical machine runs $7,000. His colleagues believed $500 was the right value. He removed the middlemen so people who could never fly to New York could reach this. It was originally released for $49. But on this page alone, the access is $39. You also receive 4 specific guides to help steward your life properly. It is backed by an ironclad money-back guarantee. If it does not restore your clarity like it did for 18,000 others, every cent returns to you. The financial risk has been completely removed from this decision. Every week the synchronization stays disrupted is another week your divine provision moves through a broken receiver. The provision heaven arranged is already in motion right now. The only question is whether you arrive at the meeting point with a clear mind. What is coming deserves the fully activated version of you. One thing is worth naming directly. If you search for anything that sounds like this name, you will find cheap imitations. Most have no neural sync technology inside them at all. The direct page is the absolutely only verified source. The mechanism is what makes the actual difference. If your spirit resonates with what has been described, the link in the description below and in the pinned comment points to where Dr. Barone made it available, not anywhere else. You can read every detail on their page before deciding. Small steps taken from a clear mind have changed entire seasons of life forever. The tool does not replace God. It does not replace your daily obedience. It certainly does not fight the unseen spiritual battles for you. What heaven is doing in your life is not conditional on any physical tool you can acquire, but a tool that restores the receiver, gives what God is doing a perfect place to land. A clear mind can finally recognize the doors that have been opened. The deeper current of this prophetic message is exactly where we must return right now. The enemy desperately wanted you to finish this year in a state of total confusion. He wanted you to walk into your next decade carrying the exact same heavy burdens you have dragged behind you for years. But his calculated assignment against your mind has officially failed today. The mental fog is lifting. The hidden agreement that kept you playing small has been permanently cancelled in the courts of heaven. You are boldly stepping out of the dry wilderness. You are no longer the emotional sponge for toxic people and counterfeit friends. You are a cycle breaker stepping into a profound generational legacy. The painful sacrifices you made in the dark are about to be rewarded in the absolute light. Heaven has witnessed every single tear you cried when no one else was watching. Your season of hidden preparation is officially closing right now. The heavy lifting is done. God is shifting you from a season of intense survival into a season of accelerated fulfillment. The miraculous provision that seemed so far away is now rushing toward your doorstep. You do not have to hustle or grind to make this happen. You only need to remain in a state of peaceful obedience. When your frequency aligns with the truth of heaven, the right people and the right opportunities simply gravitate toward you. I need you to prepare your weary spirit for this final activation. Place your hand over your heart right now. Do not skip this physical act of spiritual obedience. Close your eyes and let the relentless noise of the world completely fade away while we seal this massive divine shift together. Speak these powerful words out loud with me in the quiet of your room. I decree and declare that my long season of painful delay is permanently over. I release every heavy burden I was never meant to carry, and I completely break every hidden agreement that told me I was unworthy of a massive miracle. I am a chosen warrior of light. My mind is entirely clear. My spirit is perfectly aligned with the powerful frequency of heaven itself. The enemy has absolutely no authority over my timeline or my destiny anymore. I step into my divine assignment with unshakable confidence and profound peace. I am completely ready for the unprecedented favor that God has prepared for me since the beginning of time. My bloodline is liberated today. The generational curses are broken forever. I am walking into the abundant light. Take a deep breath and let that absolute truth settle into your physical bones. The heavy atmosphere in your room has already shifted. The crushing pressure that was pressing down on your chest is completely gone. You have been entirely reassigned by the Most High. You are no longer fighting desperately for a victory. You are now operating from a place of established victory. The doors that have been locked for a decade are swinging wide open this very week. This is not just another video on your screen. This is a sacred covenant moment ordained by heaven. If your spirit is burning right now, heaven has officially activated your next beautiful chapter. Subscribe to this channel immediately. Turn on every notification so you do not miss the prophetic instructions coming in the next 72 hours. You simply cannot afford to miss the next piece of your divine blueprint. If these words have been a healing balm to your exhausted soul today, I warmly invite you to sow a seed of faith. Use the super thanks button below to generously support this ministry. Your beautiful seed keeps this light shining for other chosen ones who are still trapped in the dark. Heaven always multiplies every single seed sown in absolute obedience and pure love. Walk forward into tomorrow with your head held incredibly high. You are not a helpless victim of your past circumstances. You are the specific plan that heaven formed around before you were even born. Protect your divine peace fiercely. Set absolute boundaries and do not ever apologize for holding them. The faithful watchman is finally allowed to rest in the safety of divine provision. May the absolute peace of heaven guard your brilliant mind and your beautiful heart this entire week. May your daily steps be perfectly ordered and your spiritual vision remain crystal clear. The long and painful struggle is finally over. The glorious harvest is standing right here in front of you. Go forward in quiet power. Go forward in total alignment. You are so deeply loved and fiercely protected by the Most High.